Hello. So today what we're trying to figure out is how is the coronavirus truly affecting real estate in Colombia? And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. So it's like you're in my office and you're seeing the real data as I'm doing my searches. This way you don't have to worry about, okay, does this guy have a false agenda? Okay, is the numbers he's telling me correct? A lot of numbers you're going to hear about, they're going to be national numbers or, you know, sadly, a lot of times numbers come from people with agendas. So I want to, be above reproach. Because right now, what I'm doing is I'm studying the real estate market. That's my job as a realtor. My job is to guide, protect, and give you an advantage. I can't do that if I don't know my stats, if I don't know my craft. So what I've decided to do during this time is share my studying with you. Why not? I'm already doing it. Go ahead and peek over my shoulder. You may be surprised at what you see. Let's not, well, if we have assumptions, let's test our assumptions. And I'm going to be doing searches now to test the assumption of coronavirus is affecting Colombia real estate by ... Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is let's share my screen. And I've already pulled it up. And I'll tell you what I'm doing right here. What I'm doing is I'm basically searching all the main areas of the greater Columbia area around Lake Murray, going from, the edge of Lexington all the way over to Kershaw. Okay, so I'm covering a lot and I'm plugging in all the different categories. Now, you should be able to see this on my screen. There's a lot of numbers here, right? And normally what I like to do is I either break it down by area or price point. Right now, what I'm doing is this one is going to be focusing on it by price point. If we start, it's 8:14 now. It's 8:14 at night. If we get through this pretty quick, I may then kind of point some of the areas to see how they're comparing with one another. Okay, but let's get started. So what I've done here is I'm looking for any property that was listed mid-February. I would prefer almost to use the March only listings, but here's the problem with that data. It takes 30 to 45 days typically on a loan to close, and usually 30 days. But some can get stuck and take a little bit longer. Where we're at is I really want to know, is coronaviruses stopping properties from closing? Are they falling through or are they getting delayed? What's happening? So that's why I added 15 days. So instead of using, okay, out of curiosity, what's happened while we've all been afraid of this coronavirus, to mid-February, we were hearing about it, but it was a Chinese issue. It really wasn't a Colombia issue. And I'm hoping that it doesn't get, I'm hearing that it's supposed to get a lot worse this week, and I'm hoping that we're not behind the curve and we're going to have a ramp up. I'm hoping that we're going to be all right. Okay, so anyways, and then the other thing I'm doing is looking for anything closed since the beginning of March. So there could be some properties that close in 15 days, but the majority of them, we're going to start seeing them close around the 12th and onward. Okay, and I'm not factoring in different types of houses, how big they are, how many bedrooms they are. I just want what is happening, right? So out of 1,030 properties that met our criteria of going on the market mid-Feb, what we're going to see is what I want to know is, okay, are people putting them under contract? That's a fair question, I would think. And I'm doing it this way for us to really see sometimes like jumbo loans, which, are a higher price point, sometimes they get affected more. Okay, so anyways, out of the 1,030 properties, 169 of these are still active, meaning you can go ahead and take a look at it. If you make an offer, it's not under contract. And with this market, we've been seeing a lot are going under pending. So I'm hoping I didn't miss that category. Okay, so in this breakdown, it's going active and then closed. $32 have closed. Okay. 276 are pending. And that's what we've been seeing is these properties are going under contract. I mean, think about it, 169 active. These were only houses that were listed mid-February. Twice as many almost are under contract. So really, 169 didn't hit the market. 169 plus 276 plus, this is going to be another interesting category. What was taken off, and that's a withdrawn category. So you can see a lot of properties under contract, guys. So don't think that if you put your house on the market, you can't get a contract. These stats are telling you otherwise. Okay, expired. 1, meaning if you put the house on the market, it's gonna sell. In a buyer's market, you get a lot more. Let's see. In a buyer's market, yeah, you get a lot more expireds. In a seller's market, you get a lot more, where you get a lot less expireds. Okay. Basically, if you're getting a lot of expireds, it means the seller doesn't have the advantage. Right now, this was expired slash relisted. We'll probably see that back on the market. It was probably a condition issue. But look at this now, withdrawn. Half these withdrawns were withdrawn temporary off the market. So I'm thinking there's a good chance those are people who don't want people walking through their house. So, and that's still not that many. Withdrawn. So right now, and this is what I've been seeing throughout this, the inventory levels really haven't changed that much. Things are going under contract. Things tend to be closing. There's not a lot being withdrawn. In other cities, they're having, to change the active to like active on hold. That's not the case here. So again, what I'm going to do now is say, okay, we got one price range. Let's see what happens in the 250 to 500,000. So now, there are less of these, but that's still a pretty good number. $314 are active. And again, I'm just taking my own notes. So as I look away, that's just what I'm doing. So you can see a lot of active properties out here. And just out of curiosity, out of the 250 to 5, let's see what these tend to be. A lot in the threes. Okay, so you can see here on average, those are, around the 300. So yeah, that makes sense, 250 to 500. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,800 square feet, 22 days on the market. Average price per square feet is $111. Okay, so now let's look at closed. 18. So that's almost half as much as what the previous category was. So now this one, we don't have to scroll that far. So average is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,600 square feet. Look at that. Days on, this is going to be a days on market category. One. Okay, so, and the average price per square feet in this category is $120. So that's a good amount per square feet. Now let's go to pending. This category represents what a buyer and seller are willing to agree to, meaning this house at $253,000, both the buyer and seller agreed to a contract. We don't know if it's $253,000 or not, right? It could be $250,000. It could be, shockingly, a lot are going over, because if it's a hot market, then if someone wants their closing costs paid by the seller, you may have to add that into the purchase price. And as you can see with the tightness of the inventory, appraisers are giving the sellers the benefit of the doubt right now. So anyways, the pendings are 138. So again, 314 active, 138. So in this price category, you were not going under contract as quick as far, or the inventory is not shrinking as quick is a better way for me to put it. Let's see what the average days on market is for these bad boys. Sold before listed. Well, then why is it under pending? So, okay, 7 days on the market. That's fast. Okay, now again, what's happening with the inventory? Aside from those that are going under contract and closing, what's being taken off the market? 2 properties taken off the market. So that's not an overwhelming percentage, obviously. 28 withdrawn. So again, 314 active, 28 withdrawn. I think that's less than 10%. I'm embarrassed that I have to use a calculator. Okay. I'm pretty certain on that. Yeah, under 9%, 8.9%. So anyways, what we're seeing is we are still tight in inventory. We're not seeing a lot of people taking the house off the market. We are seeing the properties go under contract at these price points. Let's now start going into more like the jumbo prices. So now we're going to do 500,000 to 750. Okay, so you can see there's not nearly as many of these properties. And what we want to pay attention to is, you know, what areas are these ones in? Because quite a few of these could be the lake. Okay. 60 properties are active. So that's going to be the majority right there, all right? Okay. 614,000 average, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, about 3,800 square feet, $614,000. Closed properties, 5. So now we are seeing in this upper price point, things are not moving nearly as fast. Although, again, look on the days on market here. So average days on the market, 0, 0, 1. So now, how many are going under contract? 15. So 15 out of 87. And that really should be more like 15 out of 87 plus 15. But just as kind of a ratio, that would be 17%. Expireds, 1. Withdrawns, 6. So again, that's what 10% of what could have been active got withdrawn. And the days on market on these, 37. So that one was above the average days on market. Actually, several of them were. A couple of them were 0 days on market. That's a little surprising. And these are all in Northeast Columbia. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know why all of them would be out of Northeast. So I guess, well, Kershaw and Richland County have had more cases of the coronavirus. So again, stats usually tell us a story. If we see a trend, we have to ask that question, why? Okay, so now this category, we're going to get a lot less results on. So 750 to whatever it chooses to pull up, right? So 45 in total. Let's take a look. And there's so many different reports here. What I'm trying to do is I'm just kind of trying to do the summary just to give us these breakdowns. So out of 45 results, 34 are still active. 2 are closed. 6 pending. Withdrawns, 3. No expireds. So out of the withdrawns, 11 days on market, 3 days on market, 36. And we're seeing a lot over in the East Columbia areas, the withdrawns. As far as what's going under contract, we're seeing most of it being Lake Murray. You know what? So now what I'm going to do is, fortunately, I forget which one is best for the computer screen. But this, I'm not going to the agent version because I don't want to share any information that would be private. But okay, so like this one here, 753,000, been on the market 3 weeks. You want to know, out of curiosity, let's do this. Hopefully it's just this one that. I blew up my screen, meaning what I did was actually change the size. So options that are normally there are not there as much right now. So what I was going to do is one of the little tricks of the trade I like to do, if a property just hits the market, if I think I need to find a client for it, but I don't have it yet, I may go into their showing schedule. Because if you go to the showing schedule, you can see what times are available. So that starts letting me know how hot truly is this property. Because if this one's been on the market for 23 days, and if I want to show it and there's like all availability, that tells me other showings aren't set up. Where if you go to a property that tends to have multiple offers, you can go into the showing system and all of a sudden have a struggle getting your 30-minute slot. So things like that are just little tricks of the trade to help you understand what's going to be a hot property, what it isn't. As far as things that is usually almost a dead giveaway, and it does not show for you guys. And I kind of wish it did, but it stays on market. So many times you can use the days on market because what that represents is right now, I don't remember the exact count for agents, but we should be over 3,000 or 4,000 agents in the Columbia area. We're all working to try and get these properties sold when they match one of our buyers' categories. So if a property's been on the market 30 days, a lot of agents have gone through there and they've basically told me, okay, something's not quite right, based on the price it's at now, the condition isn't right, the location isn't right. There's something holding so many people back because we have tight inventory levels. Now, if a property's on the market for under 7 days, the odds are it's going under contract. I mean, you're seeing this 0 to 1 day on market for a lot of these. So I think we're doing all right on time. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to scratch out the Lake Murray properties. I want to do Irmo. We'll do West Columbia. I still like Area 3. That has some, it can be like City of, not City of Columbia, but where Columbia College was, up that way, up North Main. But there's some areas in there I love, like I love Earlwood, Cottontown, Elmwood Park. Area 4 is Northeast. 5, 6, and 7. 5 and 6 are East Columbia. 7 is the southern part of Columbia, the Shandon, the Rosewood areas. 8 is basically Southeast Columbia. 9 is just the more rural part of Southeast. Area 10, I don't search Area 10 as often. What Area 10 is on this one is, okay, the Southern Lexington, but that's like the Pelion area. Area 11 is the main Lexington, 29072, 29073. Area 12 is another one. I think that's going to be out. Yeah, going to be, I'm going to take 12 out. 14 I'm going to take out. But area 15, that can be a lot of Chapin areas. So now what I want to do, let's do a quick breakdown of 150,000 to 300,000. This is really a sweet spot that we tend to see. You know, and you know what? I'm going to change this up just a bit. I don't want to muddy the waters here. We know there's not a lot expiring. We know there's not a lot withdrawing. If they're withdrawing, honestly, it probably is the coronavirus. We know that we're having a good amount closed. Let's change up this to anything listed this month or closed this month. So to get it closed that quick, well, actually at this stage it can happen because there was 30 days. So there we would have had 3 days at the beginning of this month where they could have closed. So let's take a look at this. So now we have 389. This is more of the heat of the coronavirus. Okay, bread and butter price point. The thick of the coronavirus. Properties listed pretty much in the last 30 days. What are we going to see? Are they going under contract? $372 are under contract, 17 have closed. Days on market, meaning if you listed the property in March, pretty much all these are like going fast. The longest one was 9 days on the market. That's insane, guys. Under contract, days on market. There, ooh, look at that one, 15 days on the market. Boy, that must have been a bad one, huh? You know, a joke, because I mean, I remember days on market used to be 80, 90 days on market. And now we're seeing if you don't have it under contract within a week, then if you got it, it's probably a house that is not the most desirable. Okay, 29. And you know, of course, that's just me talking. You know, there's still a lot of good properties. Some of them may have just been negotiated a little lower, you know, it just depends. Let's take a look at this one. Manual Creek. So priced at 165,000 for the most part, gave us the exact same results. That tells us what's taking place in the Columbia market. And right now it is not turning. We have tight inventory. The sellers have the advantage in the negotiations. The interest rates are low, so buyers are getting rates locked in that are very, very good for them for the long term. If you're in a position to sell and buy, either you're moving up or you're moving down, this is a great time to lock those things in. The reason why is if you're upsizing, yeah, you're getting premium for your house selling it, but you're locking in a great interest rate on a higher priced home. Vice versa, at a higher priced house, you're locking in the premium rate. Then if you're moving down, that's probably a lifestyle event that you're going to be in that house for a long time. So again, you're locking in that low short-term interest rate for a very long period, and you don't even have to worry about which way the market heads, because at this point you're aiming for safety. You got the lower payments, you got the house that fits your needs the best, and hopefully you have some money to have in the bank account, you know, or use it however you see fit. I do hope, again, I hope this helped you. My name is Drew with eXp Realty. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.